One of these guys has already made his major league debut and kind of is a polarizing prospect in a way, just because of the fact that he's been hurt a lot in the last year and that kind of thing. So, but we will bring him up now. Jordan Lawler on Pipeline, ranked number 10 on the upside prospect. He's ranked number 11, while Marcelo Mayer, another one of those Boston guys, they've just producing like crazy in recent years, but he is ranked number 11 on Pipeline, and the upside prospect has him down at 38. So this time we'll start with JT. JT, give your take on, are you buying this prospect or that prospect with this pairing?
This one was tough because I'm not really that high on either of them. I agree more with the upside prospect with the Lawler. I think his ceiling is much higher than Mayer. You know, Lawler, he needs to get healthy. He needs to show what he is after his injury. I mean, he came up at such a young age. It's really
Mm-hmm.
hard to back too far off of him because the D-backs were throwing him in the majors at 20. I mean, that doesn't happen very often. And usually when it does, the guys end up being pretty special. I mean, the latest are, the Jacksons, the Churio and Holiday. So I I went back and forth on this. At first it was Mayer because I thought he was the safer pick, but I think I'm switching it up to Lawler because I think the athletic profile of his is much better than Mayer. And with Mayer, it's like what are we looking at for a ceiling? Is it like non-roided up Dan Ugla? We're getting low 20 bombs, in the middle infield without any speed. So, and going back to Mayer's power, he only has 5 home runs versus lefties in his pro career versus 34 against righties. So does he end up struggling and then he's just a platoon bat as well without any other counting stats besides being able to hit a home run now and then? So I'm with Lawler.
What do you got, Ram?
I'm actually going in the same exact direction there, and I'm gonna double down on something that's saying that I think with Jordan Lawler, you're buying the dip, to use that term, because I think one of the things we got to remember in fantasy perspective is that there's a lot of name value and there's a lot of hype on things, and getting a prospect at the right time is just as good as getting a prospect right. I mean, if you get a guy for free, you're killing it, even if he becomes an average player in deep leagues, right? But in
Yeah.
more condensed leagues, if you're thinking about, if you just take back a breath and think, who are people talking about? Boston's got a lot behind them right now. Campbell's looking real hot. Roman Anthony, there's a lot of talk, right? So Mayer, just by default, gets that kind of helium behind him where they're like, oh, the Red Sox are going forward. Marcelo's going to be part of that future over there. He'll be at short. Christian's going to be at second. And I think it's harder to purchase Mayer than it would be Lawler at this time. But if you gave me a choice between the two in fantasy and perhaps in real life too, I'm taking Lawler because as JT pointed out, there's a difference in upside there in Lawler.